Hey guys, this is Sean from Next Step, back with another product review video. And today we're going to look at a product in the digital adoption space. And if you don't know what the digital adoption space is all about, it's essentially products that have been brought to market to make it easier for people to learn how to use software. I've reviewed a few products in this space, and we've been looking at them from the perspective of a product-led growth approach. Can I quickly and easily use these products and measure in a relatively short order what time to value would be for me, which is a critical component to taking a product-led growth approach. So the product we're going to review today is called Appcues. So I'm going to switch over to showing you kind of where I'm going to be clicking around on the website now, and we're going to get a better idea in whether or not I can quickly and easily start using that product and get some value out of it. Okay, so here you can see I'm on the Appcues website. I like the layout, pretty straightforward. You got some metrics. Again, a lot of these sites are good. This one's simpler and cleaner than other ones I've seen in the digital adoption space, and I like that. They're pretty straightforward with their approach. They still have the logos. They got some results, some ROI stuff in here, which is great. Let's take a look at this menu. There's a lot going on here. Font's a little small. I wish it was a little easier to read, but I get it. Okay, one thing that I like immediately right off the bat is Appcues calls to attention product-led growth. Right, that's what we're doing here. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with this message, obviously. Future is product-led. You really need to be using products because you really need to be able to providing to users the ability for them to kind of self-educate, because that's what people prefer to do nowadays. So I'm optimistic based on what I'm seeing here and being able to get the opportunity to kind of play around with the Appcues product. Let's jump to pricing just because that's something that I like to take a peek at on all these sites to compare. This is pretty straightforward. I mean, they've got a couple in here readily available. This is one of the few in the digital adoption space that actually has a pricing on the website. I'm also a fan of that. So once you understand your market well enough and you can communicate in a very transparent way whether or not your product has pretty standard pricing, that's an advantage of yours if you've got the traction, because you also want to qualify your prospects, right? Is not every user or not every person that visits your website is going to be an ideal customer for you. Right? You don't want to spend a lot of time speaking with people that are outside your target market because that's just inefficient. So they can self-service that way as well too. So that I like. So I see a couple of buttons down here on these different tiers as far as test it out. That gives me the impression that I'm going to be able to kind of play around with the product, but I'm not quite sure yet. So I'm going to go back to my home page. I can come back here because I want to see, because there's a button right here that says start free. I like this. This is great. I don't know if you've seen my video about Whatfix, but I knocked them on kind of get started with a free trial button, which is basically just a funnel to get connected to one of their salespeople. That's not what I was looking for. That's not really being product led. Instead, this button straight up says start free. I like that. Or the option down here is to schedule time with a product specialist. Another design element I like here as well too is the attention is towards start free, as opposed to the attention towards schedule time with a product specialist. On the Whatfix site, the attention is instead, gravitating you towards the product specialist and away from the free trial. So that's like the subdued version of the button on that site. So let's see what Start Free does for me. I like the fact that this is only asking for email. Let's get started with that. I'll punch this information in. Maybe it'll let me do it as is. Let's start with this guy. Okay, so I punched in my info and it looks like it's doing some magic behind the scenes, kind of get me right into the product, which I absolutely love. Sure, why not? Cool. This is nice. They got a video kind of already ready and available to kind of get me started, which is nice. So I'm going to click the Get Started button, see how this goes. Personalize the experience. Let's go with product team. So this is a cool way to kind of capture some feedback. Brings me to Appcues. Go with announcing features. This is a nice way to kind of demonstrate what they're capable of. Looks like they have a software development kit. I'll kind of learn more about that. Clearly today I'm just exploring, so let's do that instead. All right, so I'm in. It's already doing its best to kind of educate me on how to do this stuff. I want to build a flow. From what I think, my impression is a flow is kind of a walkthrough. So I'm going to go ahead and jump on this and see how this goes. I like the interactivity already. Again, it's got a video, which is great. Flow Builder.
The first step in building flows is to install our Flow Builder Chrome extension. In the builder, you can create a modal to welcome new users, a slide out to push a new feature, or a set of tooltips to guide your user. You name it, the use cases are endless. Whether you're creating a flow from one of our tried and true templates or designing one from scratch, you can craft an experience tailored to the goal you're trying to achieve. So, ready to build your first flow? Click the button in this modal to install the Chrome extension, and then you're off.
Nice. Very well done. Very straightforward. So it walked me through the process. It told me about what I can do. I want to do the bubble thing, so I can click through having people do their thing. Let's read what this section here says. So it's basically describing for me what a flow is for who I want to build it for. It looks like I will be able to do it with simply installing the Chrome extension in the browser. All right, they're explicit about saying it doesn't download it to my computer. And any content that I create won't be live for my customers until I publish it. And only after installing the SDK. So I'm curious to know more about this. Let's go ahead and click this real quick. See where this goes. So it looks like they're explicit about saying that nothing downloads to my computer, which is already, to me, more straightforward than the experience I had with WalkMe. So they did install a local application on my machine, and I couldn't get it to work. This says the builder doesn't install to your computer, but any content you create won't show live in your product to your customers until you publish it, and only after installing the SDK. All right, let's go ahead and get the Flow Builder, which I believe is my extension. Let's check this out. Solid reviews there. All right, let's get this added to Chrome. Add it to Chrome. Sounds good. Where are you? There you are. Let's click on them. Yep, where'd that go? Got some feedback up here. Looks like it's doing its thing. Don't see that yet. Let's click on it again, try to get it back. Nope, it's not what I'm looking for. Oh. I don't know, I keep clicking on that. Let's confirm, you have the Appcues builder icon in your browser. Yes, let's build. I like the fact that they're walking me through using their app. I'm shocked that other applications in this space aren't really doing a great job at that. And this is the perfect product to be eating your own dog food with. So I don't understand why everyone isn't doing exactly what Appcues is doing here. Okay, let's get started by creating a flow. We use a pre-built flow, which is cool. I'm going to create one. Just some information first, and we'll start building. Okay, so I wanted to build a workflow for Asana. And I wanted it to be about like creating a new project. So I'm going to switch back to my Asana application. I'm going to grab the URL, that's what it's asking me for. Asana, tags. Let's create a tag. Nope, okay. To do that separately, so I can't create my tags here. It looks like I just have to select them. Since I haven't created a tag for this, I'm going to do my thing otherwise. Okay, after I added that, it looks like Appcues opened the tab for me, which is nice. That was a question actually that I had. So now I'm in Asana using Appcues, and it pops me up with another video. Let's check this out.
Welcome to the Appcues Flow Builder. Flows are content that you create to guide your users through an experience. They can be for product onboarding or to drive adoption, to invite users to a free ice cream day at your office. It's really about your goal and the message that you're trying to convey. Flows come in all shapes and sizes. Some are one step long, and others are multiple steps. They could live on just one page, or they could guide users through multiple pages on your site. The building blocks of flows are called steps, and each step can be a different pattern, like a modal, a tooltip, a hotspot, or a slide out. You can use themes to make flows match your website. Once you've adjusted things to your liking, go ahead and preview your work so you can see exactly how the flow will look out in the wild. Creating a beautiful flow is an awesome start. Next, you'll set up targeting so the right people see it at the right time. If questions arise along the way, we're always here to help. But you're going to be great. Happy flowing.
Okay, nicely done. That was pretty straightforward. I'm understanding what I'm supposed to be doing here. It's got the bubbles going, so it's directing my attention where I need to go. Return to the flow list by clicking the logo. Okay, well I want to create, all right, so it's got me in straightforward format. Okay, long story short, it's got me following the bubbles again, doing my thing. So when I'm done, return to the flow list, which is great. I'll go ahead and click that since it's directing me that way. I want to build a flow. I don't really want to be back to the flow list though. Let me see if I can hop back here. All right, I got a, looks like a build and a navigate menu. So I'm adding a step. I don't think it's going to be a modal. Anyway, let's try modal. So in the app, nope. Oops. Click here to add some content. Okay, I don't want a modal, I'm assuming. So that's going to be over the entire screen, I believe. Let's go with tooltip. Where am I putting this? Cool, so I can hover and see some options. Descriptive, quick tip, iconic. All right, let's go with descriptive. Clicked it, now what? So I can just pick. Nice. So it's going through my DOM and it's letting me get an idea where these elements are and what I can click. So I'm going to click new project. So let's left click here and see what happens. Track my favorites. There was something there allowing me to reposition it, but it looks like that went away. Anything you favorite will be stored here for safekeeping. All right, so this is it. The flow. I can drag stuff here, but I kind of want to move this tip. Maybe I'll try to kill this again. No, can't do that. All right. How do I get, let's try to delete this one. I didn't like where it positioned that, so I kind of want to do that again. Modal, no. Tooltip, yes. Descriptive, yes. Pick where. I'm going to go back to the plus. Click to reposition. Oh, okay. Maybe that's reposition the click. Yeah, okay. That's what they're repositioning my click. Okay, that's pretty straightforward now. All right, I'm going to move it maybe here. Okay. So I can edit this stuff right here, which is nice. Add new project. Oops, not enter. Save. Click here to create your new project. Click OK. All right, looking good. Add that step. Work on a new page. Yep, I want to go to a new one. So it's, oh, okay, flips me to navigate, so now I can move around. Click on my new page. I'm assuming I need to now flip back to build. Where's my little builder guy? He was here, oh. All right, cool, it's at the bottom of my screen, so now I can add. I want to add another tooltip. So, let's go back to descriptive, left click there, click here, blank project again, create blank project. Nice. Click here to create a blank project. Okay, good to go. All right, I like that. I'm gonna add that back. Navigate next. flip to navigate mode. Let's go into the blank project. And the last step I'll add now, as I flip back to build, is to, I'll add a project name, or I'll create the project. So let's go again, tooltip. Let's go with quick tip this time. Add project name. Add project name here. Good. So I'm going to flip back. I'm going to say whatever. Project X. Then it activates my create project button in Asana. So let's go back to build. So I'm going to add, as part of this, another tooltip. Click here. Click here to create the project. Cool. I can format this stuff, which is nice. Bold it if I want to. Change the formatting. I want it to be bigger. That's nice. Cool WYSIWYG editor there. Okay, cool. My tooltip lands appropriately. That looks good. Okay. Now that's kind of it for my flow. I don't really want to do any more than that. That looks good. Trying to figure out how to kind of save this. Close settings. I added those, I believe. This I think will just give me more stuff, which I don't want to do yet. Target and publish is giving me the impression that that will do what I want it to do. Let's try it. Target and publish. So I created my flow. With any luck, I'll have it in here. Here's the flow information. Creating new project. Saved in draft format. That's good. What I was a little worried about is it would immediately publish it, which I didn't want. Okay, cool. So now it's giving me the ability to kind of adjust trigger settings. So this would essentially be when I would see this in using the Asana application. When should this flow launch? When the user reaches the page. Let's go with that. How often? So you can determine how often you want it to pop up. Every time or once. I'm going to keep mine once. Page targeting. Which page should we show this content on? Any page or a specific path? All right, well, I kind of want that to be on a specific path. I'm going to flip this back to navigate. Let's go back. I'm going to go back to the page where that was originally found. So I really want this to be on this page, although the tricky component to this is I believe this URL is unique to me. So if someone else on my team is in Asana and this URL is not the same as theirs, I don't know if that's going to trigger. So that's one challenge. Anyway, let's make it this. Actually, you know what? I'm unsure about the 0. Right? I'm pretty sure this this GUID here will change. Oh, it's going to give me my top level domain, it looks like. All right, that's good. I don't need the full. I can go more specific than that. So I'm going to add that as home. Okay. Cool. So I can do a match here. Look for certain things. That's kind of nice. That could help with my my URL problem. So if this GUID is unique per user, but they still have home, and on their home screen they still see the same stuff, that will solve this problem for me, which is nice. So I can just do contains and then just have home. I wouldn't even necessarily need the 0, which is kind of cool, I believe. All right, so I can pick which domains or where I have the script installed. There's a test button, which is nice. That'll give me an idea whether or not it's working. Oh, that's cool. So I can test to see whether or not it will show up on that page. I'm going to grab the full URL, which is where I currently am, and that's where I want it to trigger. Test and see if it works. All right, it won't show on that page. It will show when installed on this page. So that's kind of what I want, but I don't know what it means when installed. That's less intuitive. Anyway, I'm getting the impression that that will work, so I'm going to move forward. Audience. So this is nice. I can segment my audience. This is all about, so if you didn't want this everyone to see this view and you had the ability to segment your audience in some way, you could do it here. This is nice. So you can set some goals. Measure the success of the flow based on what your users accomplished after seeing it. That's neat. Come here and define a goal. Cool. Looks like they've got behind a paywall additional goals, which is not a bad idea. Let's kill that. All right, and then what to do once the flow is completed. Redirect to a different page, trigger Appcues content. No, these actions won't be triggered during preview, but they will work in the live flow. I don't think I'm going to do either of these, but I'm curious what this one means. Okay, if I had more content, it could trigger it, or I could redirect them to a different URL, but I'm going to kind of leave it as is. I think I'm good here. Looks like this is automatically saving. Now it looks like I just need to publish it. So I've got it configured. Now I just need to publish. There's a test button too. Install 2 test flows. Lock the power of Appcues by installing it. Okay, let's see what this does. Maybe this is the SDK. Okay, I have to install something in order to publish content. Gotcha. Okay, so we'll need to install something on my local machine. Step-by-step guide or with segment. Let's check both out. Okay, there's a bunch of steps in here. It's walking me through them. Okay, so this is basically going to talk to me about how to install the code into my application. So in the digital adoption space, a lot of these products require you to install the JavaScript into your application. That's how it knows when to trigger, what to look for. It communicates with the Appcues application in order to know, when to trigger any flows or modals or whatever it is that you've created. So I see step 1 of 6. I guess I need to open the template in order for it to advance. Okay, so that's going to walk me through some form of a document. And there's a developer guide. Oh, maybe up here. Okay, that wasn't necessarily intuitive for me. So it's talking about how to do it. Here's the overview. Oh, that's cool. It allows me to pick, if I'm a developer, it allows me to pick my framework. So these are a bunch of different software engineering frameworks. And it looks like you do it by just adding an HTML tag to your application. Okay. So you can add it to just the head tag of the application. Cool. Yeah, I mean, this is neat, but this is pretty heavy. So I don't know that a developer or anyone outside of a developer is even going to be comfortable kind of doing something like this. Let me go back. So it says install instantly with segment. This is likely the easier version. Let's see what's going on here. All right, looks like segments and analytics.js client-side script. All right, so it goes through, I'll install this script, it looks like into your application for you, client-side script. All right, so I don't think we're quite there with this being super straightforward and easy to use. I do like how they have gotten me quickly to creating a workflow, but at this point, publishing my content is not particularly straightforward. It's going to require a bit more investigation. So I'm going to play around with that separately, see if I can get that working. But let's see, I'm just curious, if I go back to wherever my workflow was, let me go back to my flows. Go to the one that I created. Here we go, Asana. It looked like there was a button there to publish it. Okay, so it shows me kind of my workflow here. and what happens. That's neat. Still in draft format. I just wanted to see, I guess if I open this up in the builder maybe. I see the little note down below that says install to publish. Oh, okay, so it's opening me back up in Asana. Install to publish. So I guess this is it. This is really where I gotta go next. I have to take that step in order to actually be able to use it. I'll go back to Asana again to see if in test mode here it is triggering. So I refreshed. Looks like it's trying to load. I'm back in build mode. If I'm just to navigate, right? So it's not going to pop up yet, of course, because I don't have everything else installed yet. So it's got to get that code into the app somehow, and essentially that's how it works. So I'll get to work on that and see what the process is like at that point going forward, and then I'll give you guys an update video to let you know how it went. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. So that was me playing around with Appcues, getting the product in my hands, actually using it. I was able to build a workflow, but I wasn't able to publish it. I wasn't able to publish it yet because I need to install the code into the application itself. They got a couple options for that, but neither one was particularly straightforward, at least not super user-friendly. The developer method, I'm technical, I can figure that out, I can essentially make that work, but I don't know how long that's necessarily going to take me. The segment version I'm more curious about to know how quickly that essentially can work. So I'm going to play with that one first, but I'm probably going to do both, and I'll let you know how each of those two went. And then of course, once I have it up and running and working, I'll be testing whether or not it triggers that flow as I'm building a new project in Asana. But regardless, as far as digital adoption space is concerned, I've gotten much further with the Appcues product than I have with several others. Whatfix does not offer me the ability to actually use the product. That goes the demo route. WalkMe does let me play with the product, but I couldn't get it to work, so that wasn't great. So regardless, Appcues has made a lot more progress than other products in the digital adoption space when it comes to product-led growth, in my opinion. Thanks for watching my video, guys. If you'd like me to do a review on any of your favorite B2B SaaS products, please let me know, and I will create a video for them and share it with everyone in the audience. If you'd like, reach out to me at Sean@nextstep.io. That's SEAN at NXTSTEP.io. Thanks, guys, and keep disrupting. At this time, we'd like to take a moment to thank the sponsor of our show, Next Step Consulting. Would you like to know what the right next steps are for your B2B SaaS business? Are you trying to grow and scale, but you're stuck? We can help. To find out how Next Step can help your B2B SaaS business achieve its goals, please email me, Sean@nextstep.io. That's SEAN at NXTSTEP.io. Thanks, and keep disrupting.